Hey everybody, back again for this next session. Going to be drawing Wily Kit and Wily Kat. So, just wanted to turn this public real quick. Wily Kit and Wily Kat. Going to go over to the page here and share this up so that everybody can see it. Let's see here. Page I manage. Alrighty. I decided to combine them because it was a little bit easier with the way that the characters play off of each other. Not to mention the fact that if I didn't, it would be a little weird. So, because it's hard to draw these kids close up without them looking in the manga style that they originally were drawn in for the series. So, excuse the ink on my hand. I've been inking all day and getting comics and pages ready for you guys to get out. So, anyway, this is Wily Kit and Wily Kat, the two younger ThunderCats. They are actually just a touch older than Lion-O in the original series, but his body, his stasis pod messed up, and his body got jolted to the age of a 25, 30-year-old man, and that's why he was much older in the cartoon but acted like a kid. I've discussed that among other ThunderCats that I've drawn over the last couple of days, and I won't rehash that again. Be sure and check it out if you don't know the original series, because I mean, I know a lot of people know the new remake that was done, but not a lot of people know the original concept, because everybody's like, there was an old cartoon about that too. I'm like, yeah, that was the original one. So I decided to team them up, and because they're always together anyway, I just wanted to team them up on the card and put them out both smiling and see how they fit into my style, because I have never drawn, out of all the ThunderCats that I've ever drawn, I've never drawn these guys, and I mean ever. I just never had a hankering to attempt this one, so I just wanted to see how it would look and, you know, make the whole set. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to commit to the set, because that's part of what this series is about, is my drawing all of that stuff together and pushing that limit. So I just wanted to see how it would look and go from there. But this is Wily Kat here in the back. He is Wily Kit, which is a girl. Wily Kat is her brother. So let me see here, defining the lines. But yeah, I just wanted to draw this one and see exactly how it would look in my style, and you know, it's all right. It's all right. I mean, if I had a little more time to develop the characters into a style that worked in the way I would draw them, it would be a little bit different. But for right now, I'm using the original layout and design and going from there. And I have to admit, it looks all right. It's not necessarily as refined as I would like it, because it's not my design style, but I like it. I like to get to draw the characters no matter what they look like. So it's a cool deal. And making them look like kids and still look, you know, non-chibi or non-manga-esque. You know, people tend to make kids look really awkward and, you know, have the whole bubblehead thing going on. And it's not a style that I'm comfortable with. Even though I do have a lot of manga influences, especially Korean manga style, I love the way they draw noses. They do kind of like an Ian Churchill type of thing, where they block the noses off, you know, and bulb them out that way. But in this particular case, I am doing cat noses under there because they're cat people. Which I don't understand in the series why they didn't do that either. I was curious. I was always curious about that. Why they didn't give them the cat style noses in the series. I guess they just wanted them to look more human at the time, because with the censorship problems and all that during the 80s and 90s animation, there was a lot of problems going on with people having to do educational boundaries and certain looks and whatnot, and you couldn't show this and you could show that, and then you had to deal with all of the foreign incorporations because they can't draw so many things, which we won't go into. They can't do certain anatomical parts and whatnot, and it makes it a little awkward for everybody when you have to cope that. But it being a cartoon, you really don't want that kind of involvement in it anyway too much. So, hey Alfred, Mike, how's it going, man? I appreciate you guys coming on. But with this animation style, it's still slick enough that it works for my work. So I like it. But I have to check. I have officially lost count, which I've gone blank on which card this is. It's in the 130s, I know for a fact, but I'm not sure exactly which one it is. And I know a lot of people are going to give me crap up at the eyes and stuff, but it's okay. They have cat-like eyes, and they're huge on these kids. So it is what it is. I wanted to make them look younger, and I want them to be reminiscent of the cartoon. So there we go. Go ahead and cut in Wily Cat's nose here. And like I said, I'm cutting them deep like a cat's nose would be if it was on a human face. It would be raised and blocked off a little bit differently. He's back there with his goofy big brother smile. I'm going to be jumping around a little bit on this one because I want to even them out so that it's the same feel and pace throughout. When you're drawing multiple characters like this, I tell kids all the time, when you're drawing the multiple characters, be sure to align them with your pencil work just as much as you do your actual finished art, because you have to line them up and make sure that they have a flow. Because if you do one and then you make a transition and don't realize it in your style, you could end up making them look like two different artists did them on the same page and make them look strange. I've done that many times and had to start a page over, just be working on it and then go back to it, and it's like drawing another character in the another panel or whatever, and my style will change and it'll be like, dang it. So if you don't have a style locked down like hardcore, it's your style, you don't flinch from it, and it's not still evolving, make sure you always go back and temper it, and if it is, if you are constantly studying like you're supposed to be as an artist, it will be a forever changing process. So you're always going to have to deal with that, because it's going to bite you in the butt, and it's bitten me more than once. So I completely understand where it's coming from, and I'm warning you out of kindness. Believe me, it can mess you up. It really can. Because you'll be coming back and you'll look at your stuff and it's like, dang, that looks horrible. It doesn't look like the same artist did that. Well, it's because of the fact your stuff evolved or devolved, or de-evolved is the correct term, actually. But, it doesn't matter what happened. It's the fact that it did happen and will happen. It happens to me all the time. I'll draw one card and it'll look fantastic. I'll draw another card and it'll look, a little more, a little less phenomenal. and a little less professional, and then it'll go back and it'll cycle, and then all of a sudden I'll make a really, really good card that people just die for and are all about and all over, and then it'll go back to something else. Now I'm going to leave this hair, I'm going to define it a little bit, but I'm going to leave this hair open like the cartoon has for the animation, because of the fact that I don't want to go in here and just tear this up. Because if I go in here and do my thing, with segmenting all the hair and whatnot, it'll make it look really, really dirty and gritty. So I don't want to do that too much. But what I'm going to do is I'm still going to add some accents so you can tell that it's hair nonetheless. I'll just be more subtle than usual so that we won't have to worry about that. Because I've seen people go in and they'll try to be subtle with it, and then they'll just tear it up, and it'll be like, what is that? Is that a wig? It happens. It happens a lot. It happens to me, unfortunately. I know a lot of artists don't want to talk about that stuff, but hey, whatever, man. This is life, and it's art, and it's one of those things. It's an ever-growing process, and people want to be like, well, I'm a professional, and I don't have those. I don't do mistakes. Oh, yes, you do. You just don't tell anybody because you've got a really good eraser. So, be real about it, especially if you're working with other kids or, other creators or whatever, because, no need to be perfect. It's about production, not about it's about productivity and about production and getting the job done properly. It's not as much about perfection, even though as a professional, you have to be, of a certain standard and quality with this stuff. And I understand that, and I do that every day with my pages. But in the same coin, though, something like this, doing sketchy stuff like this, is really, really easygoing, and it's not as sensitive or temperamental as the other would be. I do put a lot of finishes into these things, but then as far as pages go, I don't. So, hey, Tom, Matt, glad you made it, man. Thank you very much for stopping by and hanging out. But yeah, as far as the professionalism goes, definitely get out there and, make the art happen the way it's supposed to, and don't try to be perfect, because then you just look like an idiot when you mess up in real life, because it's like, you said you were perfect. So then it makes you look like a moron, so don't do that. But or it makes you look worse, and instead of it just making you look bad, it'll make you look egotistical, which is even worse, because then you end up in a tabloid. So you end up on that blacklist nobody wants to work with, so don't do it. But as far as this goes, this is very simple and clean and fun and coming off the page very quickly. I'm going to leave this open. Like I said, I'm going to darken this up a little bit. Now, like I said, I've been inking all day, and I've been inking pages and cards and all kinds of fun stuff. But here's Chitara. I went ahead and skipped ahead of the series and inked her up, just so you guys could have an idea of what's coming. So, that took about, that's very loosely inked. It took about 10 minutes to ink that. So, and I used a Copic, a couple of microns and a Copic brush for that. So, to get the smooth lines for the hair and all that. And that's where we're at. So, as far as this goes, she has a mischievous leer about her, and he's got that, that evil little crunched up brow snark thing going on. So, if you go into this and check them out, that's exactly what I'm looking for, is that kind of weird, childlike snark going on, so that they can have that. But I'm going to cut in some details here for his skin tone and whatnot, and that way we can have those for when I color it. And with Kit being a girl, I don't want to build up the bust too much. I know a lot of people do that. I saw one in one of the reference photos that I was looking at when I laid this card out, this morning, and it cracked me up because of the fact that this dude had her looking like she was like 35 years old and just prime, and I was just like, at prime condition, prime health, prime physique, everything was just perfection about her, and it was just really, man, she was just supposed to be a kid. And he said that he was of age. The artist said that in comments that he was of age that she was, and he wanted to know what she would look like now. But I was like, man, that's not my cup of tea, but whatever, man. I'm a dad with daughters. That's kind of creepy to me. Not to mention the fact that the dude's going after a cartoon. So whatever floats your boat, though. No judgment. Just not my thing. So there we go. That's Wily Cat's sleeve back there for his other arm. Just want to put in a couple of details here to refine this just a little bit as fabric. Pop it up a little bit, and then we are ready to go on that one. These came out faster than I thought they would. I'm going to leave the hair open for the coloring and stuff because I'm not sure if I'm just going to ink it and leave it alone. If I'm going to color it, I'll have to see. But you guys let me know what you think. I just wanted to, like I said, test it out and see what they look like in my style, and I really like it. And I think they're coming along okay. I'm going to put these out with the others here so you guys can see them. Hopefully I can get them all on camera here. I'll put them out like this. Hopefully they won't slide off everywhere. There are see there's Wily Kit and Wily Kat with Tigra and Lion-O there, so you can see that. And then there's Chitara, which I inked, and Panthro right here on the side. So I just wanted you guys to get a quick look at them. And this is where we're at. So tomorrow's going to be a fun one. Tomorrow is going to actually be, I thought I was going to do Jaga first, but I've decided I want to go ahead and do Mum-Ra. If you're a fan of the series, that'll be the one to watch for because that is the major villain in the original series. And I definitely want to knock that one out of the park. And I'm even considering doing a 4-card set on that one, like I did the 6-card piece for Juggernaut. If you haven't seen that one, I'm thinking about doing a big piece like this for Mum-Ra and maybe spending an hour session on it, just so you guys can get some more time and see it, and hopefully you'll dig it. But we will see where it goes from there. I'm putting this back in safety. So that's it for today, though. Thank you very much. I know this is a short one, but I wanted to knock it out of the park and get the kids done up and go from there. So what I'm going to do right now, if you guys want to see, I'm going to catch you up on some of the others that I've actually been working on so that you can see that real quick, and then we'll go call it a day. There's, let's see, there's Maverick, Ant-Man, Falcon, Scarecrow, which I love that one, Two-Face. I've got the Ninja Turtles here, Leonardo, Raphael, Michelangelo, Donatello. I've got the Riddler inked up. I've got Batman and Clayface in the background there. I've got Hawkman, Hawk from Hawk and Dove. I've got Man-Bat, Deadman. Let's see, there's Doctor Strange, and there's Dove from Hawk and Dove. There's Swamp Thing, which came out really well. I enjoyed that one. Superboy from the 1960s. Solomon Grundy, which I did not expect to come out as well as it did. Sunspot from X-Force. Blue Devil from DC Comics. The Scarlet Witch, Wanda. We have the Speedster Quicksilver, Gideon from X-Force and New Mutants. There is Commander Stargazer from the Silverhawks from this past week. There is the Copper Kid from the same series. And there is Steel Will, his little sister, Steelheart. I haven't done Steel Will yet. He's still over in the pencil stack. There's Medusa from the upcoming Inhumans. There's Black Panther, which worked out really well. Very clean. Dr. Fate, which I've been getting a lot of requests for. Some reason people are really digging him. Let's see. There's Elektra. There's Blue Beetle. There's Mr. Miracle. There is the second Archangel from the twofer that I did back in the beginning of the series. That is the second card. I actually did a bust as the primary. There is Iron Fist, ready to go. Danny Rand does not look like this in the series, and I hope they get him to this level before it bottoms out. If they don't strengthen him up, there may be a problem. Hello, Netflix. There is Wildcat. There is, oh my goodness, Black Bolt. And here is Starman, the original Golden Age Starman. Sasquatch from Alpha Flight. And Spider-Gwen. So that's where we're at right now, updating the set so you guys get to take a look at it. All right, that's where we're at right now. Now, I've got more cards in here, a lot more cards in here already inked up and ready to go, but I'm not going to show them off right now. I just want to give you guys a little bit of a look and show what's going on, okay? So with that said, thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you guys tomorrow from Mumra, which is going to be a cool one because of the fact that coming up this weekend, I'm going to be doing something very, very cool with this stuff. That's the reason I've been doing all these inks and all these back catch-ups, and I'm thumbing through the cards here to see exactly what's in here that I wanted to show next without giving anything away. But I'll just hold back on that and let you guys take a look as it comes out. So, Mumra tomorrow. Thank you very much. Catch you later.